The worst corner in F1. Those aren't my words. That's the words of Lewis Hamilton. And he was describing turn 10 of Singapore GP's Marina Bay circuit, affectionately known as Singapore Sling, named after a cocktail, which we'll make right now. Let's get started. So, what was so tricky about the Singapore Sling turn? Well, first of all, it was difficult. Sort of like using pineapple juice in your cocktail, right? If you get it wrong, it'll be too sweet. If you get it right, it'll be just too pineapple-y, which you don't want. You want to mix it up. So the problem was the first time the turn was there, they put sausage curbs on the chicane of a very narrow road, section of track actually, not a road. So every time if a driver had to get it perfectly right. If they got it wrong, they go flying off. And remember, this is a street circuit. Flying off meant into the barriers. Then, well, they tried, the people thought, okay, maybe once the race starts, it'll be better. It wasn't. You see, when the race started in 2008, I remember I was super excited for it. It was the first night race. And for me, it was the second street circuit that I got to see, right? Before it, it was just Monaco that I saw. So I was super excited. Like, ooh, it's going to be fun. It's going to be like orange juice. Simple, straightforward, easy to use. Hey, it'll be awesome. Yeah, it wasn't too long before everyone saw red, like cranberry juice. You see, those curves that they put on the chicane were quite tall. They hit the curb and they went flying off. One of the first people, if I remember correctly, to experience that was Giancarlo Fisichella, who hit the curb, went flying straight into the barriers in his Force India, by the way. Maybe he should have added some lime juice. Should have helped him, taste a little better, per se. That analogy made very little sense, but just run with it, no? And it's not like Giancarlo Fisichella was a bad driver, right? People are like, oh, you don't remember him. Fisichella was a good driver. And he wasn't the only one. Adrian Sutil, Kimi Raikkonen, those were the guys who felt the brunt of that turn. So they tried to fix it. In 2010, they were like, oh, we'll make it a little simpler, we'll make it a little easier. It didn't. That's when the almighty Lewis Hamilton actually made that quote. It's one of the worst turns in the F1 calendar. And for good reason, man. When the track was designed by Herman Tilke, they thought that the chicane would be a nice addition. But, too many turns will be like too much alcohol. You don't want to get drunk. You want to enjoy the buzz. So in 2013, they finally got rid of that turn, which was kind of sad. I personally like the Singapore chicane. That turn was tricky. It really showed who was the best of the best, and you couldn't make a mistake when you're making that turn. Really showed F1 fans who the best was. And the best part is, that corner wasn't named by F1 per se. There was a contest that was held. And I think they renamed turn 1, and I forgot the other turn. And they renamed turn 10 as the Singapore Sling. And for good reason. Because, well, if you didn't respect that turn, if you didn't understand what it was, it would fling you all the way across the track. Well, this turn is no longer there, but that's fine, Maybe it was too difficult. Maybe sometimes you need easier things, simpler things. Because now, well, you get faster times without the sling, and you get a smoother drink as well. Cheers, and see you at the track.